So this week it's my turn to do the Kevin. Hello, hello, hello. So this week it's my turn. Hold on. I'm trying to put this on Facebook and it's echoing. So this is the Kevin Ross Emery Show with Ashley Olstein. And today I have Lisa Choquette as my guest. And Lisa is from Color and Light Frequency is her business. And she's going to talk to us about all kinds of fun stuff today. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
Thank you for being here. And I'm just being annoying and trying to get this going on my Facebook Live here. Shared. Boom. Okay. All right. So how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks. Such great weather. How are you today?
Same. It was a ridiculously gorgeous day. It's been a ridiculously gorgeous, handful of days, but I played a little bit of hooky this afternoon and I live on a lake. So spent some time just kind of on the lake, which was very medicinal and very needed. So
that sounds great. Wonderful. Yeah.
All good. And then I'm playing more hooky because after tonight, I'm technically on vacation going to the Azores to do a trance mediumship, trance healing workshop for a week. So I'm gone for about 9 days and I'm staying in a 17th century converted convent.
Wow. That sounds incredible.
It'll be.
I can't wait to hear about that.
I can't wait to tell you about it. I don't know what it's going to be like. I've done these retreats before where there's just been a lot of activity. Like there's a lot of energy in the space. So I imagine this is going to be much the same. I hope they let me sleep. It's just what
exactly right.
The energetic beings, but yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Well, so I am so excited that you're here today because you're going to be talking about something that I love. It's your product Orasoma, and I'm going to let you talk about it and tell us all of the ins and outs. But how long have I been turned on to Orasoma? About a year and a half?
I would say it's about a year and a half. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I was told about this from some friends of mine that are in Europe. I guess it's a little more common in Europe than it is here at this point.
It is.
So, but it is, I don't even know how to describe it. So I'm going to let you do that. But I can just say that it is in a tangible way, kind of magical stuff. And when I'm about to meditate, I will use some of my sprays and it transforms me into a different vibration. So,
exactly.
So there are, I think 5, am I correct? 5 different categories of the Orasoma. So I'm going to let you take it from here and give us a little bit of a education about what it is and what it does.
Okay, great. Thank you. So as you can see behind me on the wall over here is the bottles of Orasoma. That is their main point, is the equilibrium bottles. But Orasoma is a company that is in the UK. They're in Thetford, England. And in the early 1980s, they created this entire system for us to help us energetically for our energy body, our chakra system, and our auric fields energy. And also they have a cognitive therapy to it as well, with the bottles that you're drawn to. So what it is they are crystal and plant-derived energies that have been put into liquid form to help us to maintain balance of our energy field. So they have 3 main components from them. The bottles on the wall behind me are the equilibrium bottles. They look like this. They're oil and water, and they separate so that they show 2 different colors. When you shake them, it releases the crystal energies into our energy body, and it starts to work that way to bring us back into balance. The bottles that are on the wall, you could consider a vitamin for our energy field. They're used like a lotion on ourselves. And in doing so, the energies of the crystals and plants goes in and brings back into balance the broken fragments of our energy body that is caused from our experiences. They have also pomanders and quintessences that are more of an essence that we use, and you just wave it all around you and take 3 deep inhales, and they work that way. those are kind of like more like an aspirin for your energy field. They
I
will
like that.
instantly uplift our energy into a positive vibration and help us to maintain balance that way. Yeah. So
Yeah.
our mind's thoughts are what manifest the flow of our energy body.
Mhm.
So I've become a practitioner for Aurosoma. I studied with them. It's been about 7 or 8 years now that I've been a practitioner with them. And I
Tell me more about that, because I've looked at their website and I know that one can become a practitioner, but it's really quite a
you can.
process. So I've never
Mhm.
talked to you about how that came
Right.
to be, and I'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Yep. So I had actually gone out to Sedona for a meditation retreat, and they had Aurosoma consultation as one of the offerings that you could take. And that was with all the bottles that are on the wall behind me. So
Yeah.
that's when I was introduced to it. I had never heard of it before. It's really not that well known in the US. At the
Yeah.
moment, there is 35 practitioners here in the US. I'm the only one in New England that is practicing at the moment. But what it is they, in order to become a practitioner, there is 2 teachers currently in the US that are out in California and one in Colorado. And basically what it is you go and take a week-long course 3 different times to become a practitioner. There's level 1, 2, and 3.
Gotcha.
And then you also go back and take another week-long course, and then you are accredited and you can become a practitioner. They also have the school in Thetford, England at Aurosoma, which is on Shire Farm. So you can also study there as well. So overall, it takes about 1 year to
Gotcha.
become a practitioner. When I became one, the teacher was in Texas. So it is a little bit of an undertaking. It
Yeah.
takes, yeah, but I absolutely love it. I had gone and I had my 4-bottle pick consultation done, and I
Which is how
knew
I started.
exactly,
Yeah.
yep. And
Yeah.
after that, I just knew that this is something that I wanted to do, and I decided to change what I was doing. I've been a hairdresser my whole life and owned a salon for quite a few years. And I decided to put that into more of a part-time job and study with this and become a practitioner.
I love
Yeah,
that.
so I absolutely love it.
So let's talk about the 4-bottle pick, because that
Mhm.
was my gateway drug. So I
Yeah.
heard about Orosoma from, as I mentioned, a couple of friends that are in the UK,
Mhm.
and they swear by it, whatever. So of
Mhm.
course I had
Yeah.
to Google Orosoma and then try and find a
Mhm.
practitioner near me. And I'm in the Boston area, so
Mhm.
I came across Lisa. This is how I met you,
Yeah.
through the Orosoma website.
Right.
And you're located in Newburyport.
Mhm.
So I
I
drove
am.
up and I scheduled a 4-bottle pick, and Lisa's going to tell us
Yeah.
what that's all about.
Mhm. Awesome. Yeah, so what it is there's many different types of consultations that you can do, but the 4-bottle pick is kind of a starting point for most people.
Mhm.
What it is your auric field's energy emanates off of you about 18 inches or more. And when you stand close to the wall of bottles that are behind me, your energy field is intermixing with the crystal and plant derived energies in the bottle, and you're drawn to what you need to know about yourself. It is always spot on. So you
Mhm.
choose,
Yep.
all we ask of you is to get out of your mind with what you may like or even dislike in color, and more kind of drop down into your heart space to your feeling side. And when you're looking at all the bottles, you just see which one you're drawn to and you pick that one. And then you get to do it 3 more times. So out of all 123 bottles, you pick 4. And then
Yeah.
we sit down and we have a conversation about what the colors mean for you. And it's really enlightening. It can help one to really understand themselves more on a deeper level. The first bottle is going to tell us what energies you're here working through, kind of like what's most important for you that you're working with. It's the gifts and talents that you have. As you can see, there's 2 different colors in a bottle. The bottom fraction is going to help us to understand what's happening for you on a soul level, more of your sub to unconscious level. The top fraction of the bottle is going to tell you what's happening on your human ego mind level. So the first bottle helps us to understand what your mission is, what gifts you brought to the planet that you're here to work through to help yourself and others. The top fraction is going to tell us more of what you're here to do with that, kind of like what is your purpose? How are you going to work with that?
Mm-hmm.
The second bottle choice that you choose helps you to understand what other kind of personality traits are strongest in you, things that more gifts that you have that are going to help you to achieve working with what you're here for. That's the bottle that really goes in and helps us to understand what emotional effect may be happening for us in our lifetime that we're repressing into the sub to unconscious. It helps to understand what those things are, to bring it up to your conscious mind so that you can start to think about these things that are happening for you that really aren't serving you very well. And then the third bottle is going to tell us what energies you're working through at the moment, like the last month, today, the next month, what it is that you're working with, you're on a soul level. And then the last bottle is future energies that are going to be coming to you that you may or may not really worked with before, that are going to help you to heal the things that are causing the disturbances of the second bottle. And it really is fascinating. And then you
Yeah,
use,
I
if you
wish I pulled
choose
out
to.
my notes to remind myself. I did it so long ago.
You
I
know,
don't remember
yeah.
all of the things, but I have
Mhm.
notes.
Yeah.
Um,
And also, I think you taped it.
yeah,
I
I
think
do.
we had you
I
tape it on
have.
your voice recorder so you can always listen to that again, which I find is very helpful for people because there is a lot of information that comes through. And
Yeah.
then it's stuff that you can look at, like a year later, even you can go back to that tape and see how you've progressed.
Yep.
But then using the bottle on yourself as a lotion, when you shake it and then you put some into your palm, depending on the colors, it does coordinate with your chakra system. So that's
Right.
the area of the body that you would be applying it to.
Yep.
You can also use your own intuition and apply it anywhere you'd like. You could go and get a massage with it. And what happens is the crystal energies and the plants of the bottle go in and they just start to rebuild those broken fragments that are happening for you. And they bring your energy body back into balance, kind of slowly over time as you're using that bottle. And then what happens is by the time you finish using the 4 bottles, or as you're working with Orasoma, even going forward, you just feel better. It helps you to not have all of the worries of the subject matters of whatever that bottle is for.
Right.
And it helps you to just heal. And we just absolutely love it. So
Yeah.
people use Orasoma throughout their whole life. Like you can come and you can just stand in front of the bottles and just choose one bottle at any time. And it's always spot on for what you need.
And I did that. I came back up fairly
Mhm.
recently, a couple of months ago, I think,
Mhm.
and did that again. I wasn't sure what I was coming for, but I knew that I needed to come and get more of the equilibrium bottles because each bottle
Mhm.
lasts about a month if you're not getting a massage with it, if you're just using it
Right.
daily like a lotion, and just applying it.
Mhm.
So yeah, you and I picked, I think we picked like 6 or 7 bottles when I was there, and I have
Yeah.
2 that I'm working with currently. I'm
Mhm.
still working my way through them. I take a
Yeah.
break from them sometimes. I feel like some days I'm called to it, and some days I'm like, "I'll see you tomorrow."
Yeah,
But
absolutely. You
yeah.
just trust your own feelings about it and you know what's right for you as
Yeah.
for how to use them. And so that's another type of consultation I do. Like you never really have to do the 4 bottle pick again because
Right.
you once you know what your energies are that you're here working through. But what
Mhm.
you can do, like you did that next time, is you can come and you can gain some clarity about things that are going on for you. So you just stand in front of the whole wall and you ask questions, not yes or no questions, but depending on what the subject is, I can kind of help people guide with what to ask. And
Yeah,
then
you're
you
very
choose
helpful with that because sometimes asking the question's the hardest part. Like, you don't know how you quite need to word
exactly.
it. So you were
Mhm.
very, very helpful with asking the questions.
Oh, thank you. And
Thank
then
you.
you choose 1 bottle at a time. And then we sit down and I just let you know what the bottles mean. And so, how I know what the bottles mean is
Mhm.
color has been a language from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
When we were first created, everything on earth resonated through color. And our chakra system is a color, our auric field's energy is a color. And depending on our thoughts, when we're in a positive state, the color emanating from us has a positive charge. When our minds are thinking anything of negative state, which could be fear or worry or even anger, any of the emotions that are lower vibrational,
Yeah.
we start to then emanate different colors. So we're kind of like mood rings.
That's a good way to think of it. I like it.
Right. So in the early 1980s, a woman named Vicky Wall, over 3 nights of meditation, she was channeled what all of the meaning of color is, what each individual color, what words correspond with that color, and
Wow.
also what energies of crystals and plants go along with that color as well, and how they can help us vibrationally.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, she started developing these bottles and started working with them. But so training with Orasoma, I have learned that language of color. So basically, that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of helping you understand what's going on for you through what your energy body chose for you. I'm not putting any of my own spin on anything. I am
Right.
just helping you navigate through what the meaning of each color is. And that helps you to understand yourself more. So as we go through these consultations, as we get some clarity on the first question, then we just continue on with more questions until you feel that you've gotten enough information on that subject matter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how it works. And that's what you had done that time, which we ended up with about 6 or 7 bottles.
We had a lot.
Yeah. And then through that, you used your own intuition to decide which one out of all of them did you want to work with as a
Yep.
lotion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think somehow I ended up with 2, but they were very similar.
Mhm. Yep.
So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
interesting. Well, so that's the equilibrium, which, and by
It
the way,
is.
like it smells great and it feels great. And
Mhm.
I have the most ridiculous allergies. Any of my friends out there know that like I'm allergic to air at this point. I don't know why I've become so sensitive, but I'm having a lot of allergic issues topically. And so I was
Mhm.
nervous about the oil and the liquid and what was in it. And I've had zero problems. And I've really like they feel good. I end up, putting some on my third eye and my throat. And it's actually a really lovely moisturizer on top of everything that I'm not
Mhm.
allergic to. So
Yeah.
I actually really
Yeah.
like the way they smell, the way they feel.
Mhm.
They just feel good. Like
Yeah.
not necessarily even physically, like they just feel good.
Yeah, they do. And
Yeah.
as you say that, it might be a good time to talk about how they're made and what they
Yeah.
actually are.
Please
Okay,
do.
so they have about 3 hours north of London in Thetford, England. They have a 500-acre farm where they source as much as they can with the weather there to grow all the plants and herbs that they use.
Great.
Then they source the crystals all over the world. It's very high vibrational. They're completely organic and biodynamically farmed.
Mhm.
And actually, maybe we can put on their website, or even through my website, you can click onto Orasoma's website, but you can go on to orasoma.com and you can read up about all of that. They have great blogs. They have so much information. They have videos that you can watch to see how they do everything. So it's very high vibrational.
And I put your website on the bottom, and I'll
Thank
display
you.
Orasoma in a second. But this is
Okay,
Lisa's
yeah, no
website here
worries.
for everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Have you been to the farm yet?
So I actually have not. I had a trip planned in 2020, and then when COVID hit, that all got shut down. But I can't wait to get there. I really feel that 2025 will be the year that I get there, and I'm so excited to do that.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think that is going to be transformative. Very,
Yeah,
very cool.
it will.
All right. So then on top of these, like, well, and I just want to also say I'm an artist and like just I love color. I respond a lot to color. So the wall
Mhm.
that you have behind you, I
Mhm.
just like to look at it. It just makes me feel so happy. It's like all the colors and
Mhm.
these there is an order to what you've got going on is the order of the numbers of the bottles, but there's not an order in the way the colors appear that I have been able to glean. There probably is some sort of pattern. I haven't really had enough time with them to see it,
Mhm. Mhm.
but just visually looking at this wall of these, they're just so vibrant and they feel, you got to see it to know it, but they feel
Mhm.
alive. They feel vibrant and I don't know what other word I'm looking for, but you get what I mean.
I do. And they actually are. When people walk into our store, into our center, right away, they're almost everybody's like, oh, it feels so good in here and it smells so good in here. And it's really all the essences. We use the pomanders and quintessences come in sprays. And so we could go, I'm just going to grab, I meant to.
I have a quintessent right here.
So these three components of Orosoma, the equilibrium bottles, the pomanders and quintessences, kind of work in a trio. The pomanders, there's 19 of them currently. You can see them all here.
Yep.
And they come in these little vials and also in 25 milliliter plastic bottles that you can use on yourself. These are different. Oh, perfect. Thank you. These are different in the way that they're developed from the equilibrium bottles. They're not used as a lotion on ourselves. They're more, you just drop 3 small drops into the palm of your hand, and then you work it all through our chakra system, and you take 3 deep inhales. The pomanders work on our inside chakra system and the first inch of our auric field's energy to bring us back into balance. So the different colors, there's 19 different ones. Within Orosoma, there's 14 colors. Clear is also considered a color, which is all the colors of the rainbow. Within each color, there's different tones of color. So each different tone is a different vibration as well, and they all have their own meanings. So the pomanders, once you get to the color of the chakra that it corresponds with, then we like to expand out into our whole energy body and bring it back around and take 3 deep inhales. And they essentially will work to uplift and transmute our negative charged energy, if that's what's happening in the moment, to a positive charged energy, which uplifts yourself, and not only yourself, but every living thing that you come in contact with, you're helping to uplift them as well. So that's how they work. And they last for quite a few hours. So I like to consider them more like an aspirin for our energy field. They temporarily will bring us back into balance.
And those are the pomanders.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then so the quintessences are also, this 15 quintessences. And as you can see, this is 1 box of quintessences, and this is 1 box of the pomanders. The pomanders are a deeper color. I'm not used to this thing. Where am I? Over here. And then the quintessences are a lighter color. They're a higher vibration of energy. Those work essentially on our entire auric field's energy. They're very protective. They help us to protect us from other negative charged energy. Each color is for different things. And so they work in conjunction with each other. The equilibrium bottles behind me are for our body. The pomanders are for our chakra system and kind of for our mind. And then the quintessences are for our auric field's energy and more for our spirit or our soul essence.
Gotcha.
So being used in conjunction, you have complete wellness of body, mind, and spirit.
We have a little message from Isaac Banks who's saying hi there.
Hi, Isaac.
And I will also say, because I too have collected these, I'm kind of a little fangirl with the Orosoma, but again, the smell of these, you know, I spray them because I have the little bottles like you do, but you have them with the drops. I have 1 dropper bottle, the white, this one.
Yes.
Yeah. So this one's a white.
And
This
see,
is all the colors.
the rainbow.
But when you put a few drops on your palm and just the smell, first of all, the first hit that you get is just so intense and fresh. And then it kind of softens a bit, but it doesn't fade away. It's just, it's really, and there's something like, as I'm breathing this in, I can feel things. I'm a very sensitive energetically, so I feel things. And as I breathe it in, I can feel things all through, like my throat chakra, because clearly that's what I need attention to today, and into my heart. So they're really quite something. And
Yeah,
Stacy
they
said,
really
"It all sounds amazing." Exactly, Stacy.
I know, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can, for people who get these presentation sets, is what it's called, you can do the same thing that you do with the bottles on the wall. You can just hold them, getting
Yeah.
out of your mind with what you may like or dislike in color again, and just feeling which one you're drawn to. And it is always spot on for what you need in that moment. You
Yeah.
can also learn what each different one is for, and you can choose that accordingly as well. An
So I made
example,
a cheat sheet book that I made to
yes,
help me.
awesome,
So if I want to use these with clients, then I have like, you
right.
know, I'm able to say to them like, okay, you picked magenta, and then, magenta is about love and et cetera, because I don't have it commit to memory. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And by learning what they're for, they do help us on so many levels, like the palm manners. Like our throat chakra is blue. That's the throat chakra. It's our communication center. Within Orosoma, there is two colors for blue within the palm manners. It's the turquoise and the sapphire blue. The difference is choosing sapphire blue is going to help to open your throat chakra so that you're able to communicate kind of more of what you know. Like if you're doing a presentation for work, that would be the sapphire blue one you would want to choose to go then and stand and do the presentation. And it helps you to actually release any fear-based thinking about what you're about to do. And it brings you into a balance where you're more calm. Blue energy is calm.
yeah,
And it helps you to be able to articulate what you need to say. Where the turquoise blue opens the throat chakra, it also opens the heart chakra. There's actually a fourth and a half chakra off the right hand side of our body, which is turquoise energy. And it helps us to get more into our feelings. So you would choose the turquoise when you wanted to have a discussion with, say, maybe a loved one. It would be the turquoise energy that will help you. Because what happens often is sometimes when we have to have a discussion that may be hard, we may worry about what the receiver is going to feel when they're hearing what we need to express for ourselves. We
yeah,
can tend to get a little defensive. And as soon as we do that, our auric field's energy is emanating a negative charge that the other is picking up.
gotcha.
By using the turquoise, we may still be a little concerned about having the discussion, but it eliminates that negative charge coming off of us so that it's a positive charge, so the other isn't feeling that. And it also enables us to open our heart chakra to get in touch with our feelings so that we can express what we want to say with more loving kindness.
Yeah.
Versus reactiveness sometimes that can happen when we're worried about what we're talking about.
That is I wish I had that reminder a couple of weeks ago. So that would have been, because I have the turquoise right there, but
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
didn't think to use
Yeah.
it. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good one to
Mhm.
remember.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
teach classes on the palmanders and quintessences for people who are interested in learning more about how they can use them in their everyday to help them.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
And animals also love them. They're great for cats and dogs. They have different essences that can help with anxiety. There's so many different things that can help.
Oh, I love that. So, but wait, there's more. Um, because
There is.
there's so much. So then another layer of this, and I don't, we can talk about palmanders and the quintessences. Let's circle back too, because I think they all kind of dovetail together. But there's also the color essences and the archangeloi. I'm a
Yes.
big fan of the archangeloi, so like
Mhm.
we can
Yeah.
save that for last, or we can talk about it now. I don't
Yeah,
care.
let's talk about it now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
love, love,
Yeah.
love, love.
Mhm.
So
So within Orosoma's equilibrium bottles behind me, there are 12 bottles that represent 12 of the archangels. And then they also have sprays. Let me grab one.
I have one right here. Let me see. Sadiqil.
Awesome. So they have what's called archangeloids, which are these smaller bottles that have 9 archangels represented in the archangeloids. These are a different essence made still with the crystal and plant derived energies that you just spray above you, like your left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You let it rain down on you and you take 3 deep inhales that way. These energies help us connect to the archangel ray. Each different archangel has different colors that correspond with them as well. And it actually goes in and kind of opens up your hara, which is a walnut-sized ball of energy that floats between our sacral and our solar plexus. It's kind of like you could consider it our computer bank where the memory of everything we've ever experienced is stored. And it helps you to gain access into your own self and all of the things for you. And then bringing in that archangel ray helps with what they're for. So I help people understand that. Like this one particular that I just happened to grab is Archangel Michael. So a lot of people know of Archangel Michael. He's considered the hierarchy of the archangels. He's the protector. He's usually depicted with a shield and sword.
Yep.
So he's got those energies that really just help protect oneself, step into your own power, really helps people who are helping to help others to just gain the essence of that to be able to do it well. So there's 9 different archangeloids that we work with within Orasoma for that.
So, and again, I like to give my little personal experience with them. I started with Raphael. I had 2 that I started with, and I think it wasn't Michael. It was Raphael.
Was it Metatron?
No, I think it was Gabriel.
Oh, no, it was Gabriel. Yeah, I just remembered. Yeah.
So I started with those 2, and I found that. So I often do my meditations. I call it my cubby in this little room off of my laundry room upstairs. It's a beautiful, cozy little room. It's where I am now. I have a window, but it's just a really lovely spot. And I do feel transformed whenever I walk into this room. I feel like, oh, okay, I know, this is going to be good. But I also have the sprays right as I walk in the room, and I grab one, and I'll use the room sprays, which we can get to in a little bit, but I'll use the Archangeloi and I'll do the sprays over my body. And it's literally like a shower of peace. I don't know how else to describe it. And each one feels a little bit different, but they all give me this calm that I feel supported and love. And it sounds so silly from a spray, but I really feel this transformation happen with those 3 sprays. It rains down and I'm like, okay, I'm good. So even if I'm stressed or upset about something, that will switch my energy just with those 3 sprays.
Absolutely.
My favorite.
I love it. Yeah, it's so great. And it's just such a positive charge. It's just so helpful.
Yeah, it really is. So, and I'm sorry, there are 9 archangeloids?
So there are 9 archangeloids, and then there are 4 that come in room sprays. And that would be Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Uriel.
Yes. And I use room sprays sometimes. Okay, but then now I'm getting confused because there's also the quintessent air conditioners.
Yes.
Okay.
So all the pomanders come in sprays, and all the quintessents also come in room sprays for your space.
Yeah.
And they instantly transmute the energy of your space from any negative charge that may be happening into positive charge. Okay. Each different one is a different color ray, which has different meanings. So the number there, they have 2 that are kind of the main sprays for in the quintessences is the violet flame, which is the Saint Germain spray, which
and that's
instantly.
The one I was just about to say. I spray that in my room also. So I do the corners of my room, and then I use the Archangeloi on me.
Right.
And it just kind of shifts the space and my energy.
Exactly. Yeah. So the Saint Germain spray is the violet flame. I don't know if you can see that. And then Serapis Bay spray is the clear, which is representing all the colors of the rainbow. These are, in my experience with how I use it and everything, these are kind of like the number one essence that every household could have. The difference between the 2, the Saint Germain spray is the violet flame. It is instantly transmuting negative thought form energy that's in a space into positive. You can also use it above you, let it rain down on, and it puts like a barrier of protection around the edge of your auric field's energy of the violet flame, which helps you to not take on other people's negativity. A lot of us are empaths, and we're very reactive to energy. And when we're around people who are in a negative state, it's hard for us not to be brought down. And
Yes.
so this protects one from that. And also anyone entering your space, it helps uplift them out of any negative thoughts that may be happening for them to get back into positive. And then the Serapis Bay spray, which is the clear, which is representing all the colors of the rainbow. This you could consider to be more like sage.
Right.
That spray is instantly going to charge into a positive any type of like entity energy that may be happening in a space. It really just clears it. It's very clearing for our own selves. The white pomander and the Serapis Bay will help clear cords of attachment that are happening to us energetically from other people thinking about us maybe in a negative way. We're constantly putting out cords of attachment, even when we don't really mean to. But our thoughts have energy and they travel.
Yeah.
And they connect to the other. So using the Serapis Bay spray is very cleansing and clearing. I use it in between all of my clients. I'm also a Reiki master, an energy healer. I do like the Orasoma chakra clearing with Reiki. I prepare my space before everybody and clear the space after to help make sure that it's just of the highest vibration of light possible.
Now,
Yes.
if I remember correctly, also the white pomander, not the spray, but this also has medicinal qualities. It's kind of like a little bonus, didn't it? Wasn't there something about putting
Um,
on a cut? Or
Sometimes it can help with things like that.
okay,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not
Mhm.
that's not what its purpose is, but I think it can
Right.
help.
Yeah. So, we don't claim that it could actually help heal anything physical.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha,
But
gotcha.
energetically, it brings us back into balance and helps that way. And as we all know, that when our chakra, or maybe we don't all know, but a brief thing on our chakras. So each chakra is our vortex of energy centers that are spinning our energy. When all the chakras are open and evenly flowing, we're in balance. When our mind's thoughts are thinking anything fear-based, negative thinking, the subject matter will correspond with the particular chakra and it will go out of balance and start to go into dis-ease. The longer that chakra system is in dis-ease, the more apt we may get a physical disease in that area of the body.
Gotcha.
So energetically, these essences help bring our energy body into positive charge, which maintains a more better physical health.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. They say the aura is your first
Mhm.
line of defense. It's your first part of your immune system. So
Right.
it's important that
Exactly.
your aura is in good shape and that your chakras are in good shape.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Mhm.
Then there's also the color essences. So,
Yes. Yep. So color essences come in these bottles and they are just purely the color ray energy. These get used by putting on our pulse points.
mhm,
They're great. One thing we didn't talk about, which I'll go to after, is how all of them are great for meditation. What
yeah.
these color essences do is they bring that color ray into our system and they help elevate our awareness. So, like sitting outside in nature, using one of the color essences, it can help fine tune your senses with everything around you. Like the birds just sound more vibrant. The leaves, everything you're looking at becomes more vibrant using the color essences. And that's what those are for. Music becomes clearer. It just heightens our awareness using the color essences.
Huh. Gotcha. I think I even have a couple of color essences, but I don't think I quite understood
Mhm.
that. I'll have to try that outside. I believe I have
Yeah.
a blue.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so blue is for calming, it's
Uh-huh.
for communication. So it's just bringing that ray in. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's fascinating. So those are the five things within Orsoma: the equilibrium bottles, the
Yeah.
palmanders, quintessences, the archangeloids, and the color essences.
Yeah.
So using the palmanders and quintessences before going into a meditation really helps to gain more ease and clear the mind,
Mm.
and it just helps meditations become clearer. Like royal blue is our third eye chakra. So using the royal blue pomander before that really helps to open our third eye chakra, which is where all of our intuition is. The violet pomander is going to open our crown chakra, and
Yep.
that's where we connect to the universal realm, to our angels, spirit guides, source, even your higher self, even though the higher self is the eighth chakra above us, which is the magenta. But
Yeah.
using those helps open the chakra so that we can then become kind of like a channel to bring in any source energy that might want to come through on a meditation.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was my gateway drug with these was the
Yeah.
meditation aspect of it. Actually,
Yeah.
the equilibrium bottles were
Mm-hmm.
the beginning, but then I was like,
Yeah.
oh, and the sprays and the scents and
Yeah.
the way that it was transforming how I felt
Mm-hmm.
about meditation was really
Yeah.
during my meditation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Was
And then
really,
the equilibrium bottles you can use during a meditation as well by shaking them, and you could just hold it. Or this particular one is the violet and turquoise ray. So you could shake it and you could put it right on your forehead if you're laying down in a meditation. And those energies also help in that respect to go gain more access into the meditation and to go deeper.
right. And good point here is you don't even have to have the bottle open. The
Nope.
actual liquid has its
Mhm.
own qualities, but it's just the bottle. So,
Yeah.
shaking it actually is releasing some of that energetic shift.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
For,
also come in pendants. I don't know if you can see this vial. This
oh,
particular one is the turquoise, I'm sorry, not the turquoise, the magenta ray. This is actually depicting Archangel Shamuel, which is
oh,
all about love and kindness. And so they come in necklaces that you can wear around in different lengths. And it's always emanating an energy, even if I'm not shaking it, which is helping my heart chakra right now with this beautiful magenta ray, and my eighth chakra, which is our connection
yeah.
to our soul sense, our higher self, to stay in balance. And then every once in a while, I just like to shake it. And it's just, you may not be able to see it here, but
Hard to
when you
say.
shake them, it just releases the crystal energy so beautifully. You might be able to see this a little bit better. And you can just see that. It's just incredible, the liquid crystals. And
Yeah,
they're mesmerizing.
they really are. It's kind of like,
Mhm.
oh, what are those games that we used to have back in the 70s and 80s? Like, it's a similar thing where you've got the oil and the water and there's different colors. And when you
Yeah.
shake it, they
Mhm.
blend, but these
Mhm.
blend in a really beautiful and almost like a sparkly way.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost as though the bubbles have the crystals in them and they light up a little bit. Not literally, but there's something about them energetically
Yeah.
that are really
Exactly.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Again, I love color and
Mhm.
looking at all the colors that shaking them makes and the separate colors. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I just absolutely love it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said you have classes that talk about the learning how to use the quintessences and the pomanders and the
Yep,
different
I do.
purposes of that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you
So you can,
go ahead.
on my website, nope, that's okay. Sorry. On my website, it lists all of my services and the description of all of my different services that I do and the
Mhm.
classes that I offer. So for people who get the presentation sets, I do the informational about the palms and quints complimentary for them. So they really understand what they're purchasing and how to use it. And then for people who may just be interested in learning more, I also do that. I like to do it in person if possible. With the
Mm,
classes, it can be done on Zoom, but only for the informational.
right.
All of Aura Soma consultations have to be done in person because your auric field's energy is needed in order to properly pick the ones that are right for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
also teach an entire class on just our chakra system from the Orasoma perspective, which includes the 8 chakras, our 7 inside and the 1 on the outside. And that's great for people who may have heard of chakras or heard of Reiki, but aren't quite sure what it is.
Mhm.
It takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And it really helps one to fully understand how important it is to maintain balance in a positive charge of our energy body in order for us to be fully healthy.
Yeah. And your website is colorlightandfrequency.com, and color is
Yes,
spelled
with the
the
U.
with the
Yeah.
U, the old
Yeah.
English way.
Yes.
So yes, color, light, and frequency.com.
Yes.
So I was just going to ask you a question. Oh, it was about the Orasoma chakra system. So I feel like the first time that I was there for my 4-bottle pick, we were looking at, you were showing me, I think,
A diagram.
it was a diagram, but it also had some Kabbalah-esque, and I
Yes.
don't know very much about Kabbalah, but it had some of that
Yeah.
built in with it. Am I remembering
It
correctly? Am I
does. So,
muddling things?
yep, you're absolutely right. So Orasoma equilibrium bottles, each bottle falls somewhere on the tree of life, which is the
Yes,
Kabbalah
yeah.
with energies. Yeah. So they intermix with that a little bit. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
Kabbalah and the
And
energies.
I remember finding that really fascinating. I couldn't quite I was still trying to wrap my mind around all of what it was because it was so
Right.
brand new to me. And I wasn't
Mhm.
really sure what to expect when I came up there, but I just knew I had
Yeah.
to give it a try. But having it blend in with the tree of life, I thought was really a very interesting perspective. And I do know it was kind of adjacent, but it was part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I also do the Orasoma chakra clearing with Reiki, which is a Reiki session that starts first with the pomanders and ends with the quintessent. And the person who comes for it gets to choose some of the colors because within Orasoma, there may be more than one color for a chakra. So
Yeah.
before we start, you get to choose which one you're drawn to, and it has meaning for you. And then I use the essences in a sequence on you before I start the Reiki. And it really helps to shift any closed or blocked energies first. And it just has the Reiki go even deeper. It's about an hour and 15-minute service. I also teach that to other energy healers who are interested in learning how to facilitate and start to use the Orasoma essences in their practices with their people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited by that. That's part of why I'm starting my collection because I think that it would be really beautiful to be able to share this energy, this transformative energy to other people, especially when they're there for healing. I think it elevates it quite a bit. It's really quite something. And so Lisa's going to come down to my neck of the woods. So my studio in Framingham, we're going to do an Orasoma. I don't know what to call it. It's a
kind of like an interactive experience with Orasoma.
Exactly. I didn't want to
Kind of
say
like an introduction.
Introduction. So there'll be some stuff there. One can smell it, touch it. And so that's going to be, we're planning it out to be Sunday, October 20th. It's going to be from about 3:30 to 5. And where my studio is only so big, I'm going to put my email up here. Hold on. If anybody is interested in coming, it's in Framingham and Intuitive Art. As I said, my studio is only so big, but I would love to see some new faces and some faces of people that I know and love. And I think Lisa's got some people that may want to come. But just do like an interactive get to know you with the Orasoma product because we can talk about it, but until you actually experience it, it's hard to really understand and appreciate how powerful and what a great tool it is. So this is my email address, ashley@solsticeintuitivearts.com. So we're going to do that. And I think I'm really looking forward to it. I was looking forward to today a lot because it isn't something that, I do use the most every day, but I don't have quite the grasp of all of the parts and pieces in a conversation like this. So this was actually really educational for me too. I'm sitting here taking notes and trying to remember, and I will go back and take notes to the replay. But yeah, if anybody has any questions that they want to write in, we would be happy to answer them. And so when you do your classes, you do them up in Newburyport?
So I do them in Newburyport, but I also go off-site and I will go to other people's centers or homes to do things as well.
Good to know. Maybe
Yeah.
we can, if there's enough interest, we can put together a class
Yeah.
in Framingham also.
Would love that.
Yeah, I think that would be really
Yeah.
fun.
I also wanted to offer to anybody who's online tonight with us to have 20% off any of my services. So you
Oh,
could just
nice.
go on to my website and see all the different things that I do. Besides Orasoma, I also do birth numerology readings and the hands-on energy healings. Yep, and even the classes. Yep. So you could just mention when you call to book an appointment that you were on the show, and I'm happy to offer 20% off.
Oh, love it.
And
And if
also, I can ship any Orasoma products to anywhere. We don't have it online for shipping. It's not something that we're allowed to do here in the US with Orasoma. But any of the sprays or any of anything I can ship. If you're not in the area, you don't have to come to Newburyport.
yeah, but I will say, if anybody's local or looking for a little adventure, because Newburyport's a lovely little spot to go and check out. And it's a fun
Yeah.
little shopping spot, but it's worth going into the store and actually kind of experiencing the whole.
Absolutely. And if people are out of state, if anyone's on that isn't here at all, you can feel free to reach out to me and I can help find an Orasoma practitioner that may be closer in your area. If you are interested in any of the consultations with the bottles, you do have to be in person for that.
Yeah, and again, it's worth the effort to find a practitioner if you're not local, to find someone to actually stand in front of them, because again, I respond energetically, but I really I loved doing that. I kept my eyes closed because I didn't want to be influenced by the colors. And I just still remember the feeling that I would get as I would go past the bottles, like, no, pick me. I mean, it was very clear which ones I was meant to have. So it was really a fun experience, but meaningful at the same time.
Oh, great. I'm so glad.
Yeah, me too. So what's your favorite? Let's start spray.
Oh boy, that's a tough one.
They're all my
There's so many,
favorite.
but I will say that I think my go-to spray is the Saint Germain spray, the Violet Flame.
Yeah.
I use it I still do hair in my hair salon down in Needham, and I use it in between every client. It's just wonderful. Everyone loves it. It just helps people. We're all so much in our head these days. There's so much stress going on and so many worrisome thoughts that are happening, and energy flows. So as even we're walking through, like shopping at the supermarket, we're walking through all of those thought forms and they're attaching to us. And so the Saint Germain spray helps that not to happen, and it helps uplift everyone around. So that's probably my go-to one, but I just love all of them. Yeah.
Yes. It's like Sophie's Choice because they are all fantastic. It's hard to pick a favorite. Sorry, I put you on the spot.
No, not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all.
But they are also a little bit sensitive. So, you don't want them to get too hot.
Right. They are living energies of the crystals. So you can't leave them in your car, especially in the summer. You don't want them to freeze in the winter. And you can't display them like in a window with the sun coming in.
Which is
Because
such a
what
bummer
happens,
because
I
they'd be
know, because they're
beautiful.
gorgeous, right?
Oh.
I know. Because the energies just start to elevate and elevate even more, and they can explode, which has happened. I know the first time I did an outside event here in Newburyport, it was May and it was 95 degrees out. And we had them in the tent, so the sun wasn't in, but it was so hot, the bottle started exploding. And it actually was pretty funny. We looked like the tie-dye tent, like the white tablecloth was like a total tie-dye tablecloth. Yeah, so that was not fun. Yeah,
No.
but yeah, but other than that, they're fine. You can have them in your pocketbook on a 100-degree day or and that's fine, just not in an enclosed car where the heat really gets hot.
Gotcha.
And in direct sunlight, when it's very hot out, it's too much.
I've just been super careful since we had that conversation.
Yeah.
And it's funny you said about the tie-dye. So the two bottles that I'm currently using of the Equilibrium, one is 96, and I think the other one might be number 1. I don't remember, but one is.
So 96 is Archangel Raphael. That's the double royal blue.
Double royal blue. And the other one I have is the royal over magenta. Is that right?
Yeah. A deep magenta, if it's number 1.
Deep magenta. It's the healing one, right?
Yeah, but it's the physical rescue.
Yeah, that's it. Physical rescue.
Yeah. So this is the bottle. It's
So
the blue. So it's not royal. It's the blue over
Blue.
deep magenta. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
gorgeous.
that one, when I use it, it looks like a crime scene. It looks
Yeah.
like blood.
It does, because it becomes, I know it's hard to tell. It looks like it's black, but we're probably not gonna be able to see here, but
No, it's a
in
really
the
pretty
corner a
color.
little bit, you can see some
Oh,
magenta
yeah.
popping up. It's
Yeah.
the most beautiful deep magenta.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's funny that I chose those two because they're quite similar to each other. So I have them next to my bathroom sink, and I don't look to see which one I grab, and I'm always curious to see which one it's going to like be in my hand, because you can't, unless you pick it up, you really couldn't tell the difference between the two from the top.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. So 96 is Raphael, and one was the
Yeah.
physical rescue.
Yeah. Mhm.
Sounds about right. All right. Well, you are on Instagram also, and that's color, light,
Yes.
frequency. Again,
Yes,
the color
without
is
the and.
without the and the color is
Without the and, just color, light, frequency on Instagram as well. Yeah, so please feel free to reach out and start following. Yeah, we got lots of great stuff going on. Yeah,
There's
I'm
all
really
kinds of fun
excited.
stuff. And I have had a Reiki session with Lisa that was really lovely, and it was the only time I've had Orosoma integrated into one of a healing that I was receiving, and it was really, really beautiful. I really liked the way that the energy shifted in the beginning. So it was that was a great Reiki session, and I'll just put a teaser on there. It was Dragon Reiki, which Lisa is a practitioner. So this is calling in your Earth Dragon. Is that correct?
Yeah, your birth dragon.
Birth. I thought you said
Birth dragon. Yeah,
birth
birth
dragon.
dragon.
Who is
Yeah.
my birth dragon?
Yeah. So I do regular Reiki, and I also do dragon energy Reiki healing. And that's a great
Thanks, Steve.
one to have. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve. I think so. It was fun.
Yeah.
But yes.
So it starts off with a meditation where I'm introducing you to connect with your birth dragon. And it's fascinating. And then we do the energy healing. It's different from the regular Reiki. The hand positions are different, calling in the dragon realm. So my dragon comes and works with your dragon.
Yeah.
And then maybe even some other dragons, because there's lots of different dragons out there that come in and really help clear away some energy.
Well,
so I love that too.
I loved receiving it. It was quite something. I don't know what your hand positions were, because I was gonzo. I was flying around on the back of my dragon. But that is a story for another day. I think we could love to have you come back. And I mean, you've got all kinds of fun stuff to talk about. So it'd be fun to talk about.
Thank you.
And, you know, Reiki is fantastic. I'm also a Reiki master, but I do angelic Reiki. I do Lightarian Reiki. I do Yusui Holy Fire. I mean, there's so many. What I like to do is put it all together, but to have a different, just a different flavor and just feel the difference is really, really kind of exciting. So, and it was fun. And I will say it now in case somebody misses it next time. I left Lisa's Dragon Reiki session, and I was driving home on the highway because I don't live near Newburyport, and a car went right by me with a license plate Dragon, and I had to take a picture for Lisa and say, I can't make this shit up. So, and that, I think it wasn't when I had the session, it was when I made the appointment.
Exactly, before the session, Before the session. Great.
So I think the universe was like, yeah, dragon time. So, but
so fun.
I would love to have you come back and talk dragons.
Oh, it'd be my pleasure. And I'm so grateful to you for having me on, and to Kevin for having me on. I'm very grateful, and I appreciate it.
Me too. I'm so grateful that you are here. And I just kind of glossed over. Kevin's away. Sorry, everyone. Kevin is away this week. I did his hello for him, but he is away on a well-earned trip. So Lisa and I got to just play here by ourselves. And Stacy, again, thank you for watching, Stacy. And she put a little dragon on.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Stacy.
Yeah. So, but for everybody, next week, I will be away. I'm trying to remember who's on for next week. Is it no, it's not the first Monday. I'm going to be away and Kevin's going to be doing his own thing. And I hate to admit, I don't know who his guest is going to be. I'm going to be in Portugal. So, and then the week after that, Kevin and I are going to be talking to each other. I think we're going to just have a kind of a casual chit chat about travels and spiritual travel and all that fun stuff. So anyway, I look forward to seeing you all. I'll see you in
Thank you,
2
Jody.
weeks. But thanks, Jody. That's my cousin. My cousin's wife, but she's my cousin. Sorry, Jay. Anyway, we will see you all next time. And Lisa, again, thank you so much for being here. And
My pleasure. Thank you.
all right, good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye.